And then Jaden, you're all about compounding wealth and making sure that we're not just relying on our business as a source of income, which in most people's cases, actually, they're running a liability and not an asset. So Andrea can speak, I know, to how to run the business as an asset, but you're about creating assets irrespective of whether you have a business, if you have a job, if you're retired, if you're, got an inheritance or whatever. So knowing that the system is rigged in support of the people that created the system, how do people like us, especially those of us that maybe aren't that savvy with the stock market, or maybe have some money issues coming up, or maybe we feel like we're not a good thought leader if we focus on the money, how do people like us take advantage of a system that's actually working against us?
Yeah, it's a great question. And there's a couple ways to do that. I'm noticing lately that the collective narrative is the exact opposite of what's happening. So I'll give you an example. If you remember early 2020, there was this big freak out around the chips, right? Chips that go into computers and phones, and everything runs on chips. And there's the global supply shutdown of the, movement of those chips, and all these companies are going to go to zero. Well, that was a big lie. It allowed for the professional investors, the money managers, the venture capitalists to go in and buy these chip companies very inexpensively. And just today, Jennifer, NVIDIA is up 25%. So, what we're told when they tell us to zig, we have to zag. We have to literally do the exact opposite. And that alone will help someone invest in a way that you're going to actually make a return on your money. So that's the first thing, is money is the lifeblood of business. It keeps the doors open. It keeps the growth, the expansion going. And a couple of things to consider, there's this big hoopla around the banks and failures around large banks. And the insurance is only $250,000 cash in the US, and that's easy to surpass, especially for businesses. So what you can do is shift money from cash accounts into investment portfolios, because they're insured up to $1 million per portfolio. So it's almost like we have to move assets from cash into equities, into stocks. That's going to be a big mover in the markets, because real estate is becoming increasingly unaffordable with high interest rates, high prices, high valuations. We still have equity markets at reasonable valuations, and at any time you can buy stocks below the book value. So shift into thinking that, there's like, if people are concerned about risk, I'd say really consider buying equities, because those are that's the asset class that's going to perform really well going forward. And like you said, Jennifer, it's just another source of income. It's another source of capital for businesses, and it can be leveraged. You can put your IRA up as leverage for a loan or buying a building. I've done that many times in the past. So you can use assets instead of liquidating them, just put them up as collateral, and then buy other assets with that collateral. And then eventually you get your IRA back, or 401k, or whatever you put up. So there's just so many strategies that are important to look into. I'm happy to share, strategies with people if they're interested in learning more. Just connect in with us.
Yeah. And I will say, so a few things. One is that